It's ready. The doors are open. Here we go. It's the Mei Symmetra from Finland. I love this roster because Cloud and Sana can trade that Mei role, so they have so many compositions available. Finland have already taken control of Drum. KSA are heading to the other side, counter-rotating to have some form of shelter, and Finland are on their tail.
And what Finland really want to do here is close the distance. So KSA is forcing them to have to use their cooldowns to get close. Force is opening things up with a big pick.
And that's the fact that KSA have a soldier and they have a lot of good range DPS with the Mei. No discounting what Sonic can do. Those are so good. But Quartz has been a highlight thus far.
هذا الكوري حقنا.
Finland are down for the count.
What we've seen before is Sana pick up this Sojourn role. So it's possible that as the match progresses, we may see Sana try to pick that up in order to have those DPS duels against Quartz. Quartz has been able to open up these fights so well in the quarterfinals, the group stage, just getting instant picks with something like the Sojourn, and that's something that Finland are going to have to be very cautious of. So Cloud using those Mei walls a bit reactively so that Finland can get through to the point a little bit better.
Finland are trying to place this teleporter, and this is why you play the sim. You want to gap close, and they place the Matrix. They isolate KSA. He seems to be okay, and even Yuffie throws the blizzard in their face, and Finland were able to disengage. They have the ice block from Cloud. No one really got frozen by that. Finland took the pressure well, even though the Matrix didn't catch KSA too much. Speaking of that, Sermajed places his good Maywall from Cloud. The block.
يا اخبار ام القوة. اقسم بالله شايل ام الليلة يا عمري يا شيخ. ما عندي شفت المي. Oh, look at that too. Haku's just gonna help Quartz try to follow up those picks, and despite the best effort from Finland in opening things up to have that personnel advantage, KSA is gonna be able to maintain control of this point, and Finland now gonna try to retake with this Gravitic Flux.
Great barrier from Haku, even though it was only a two-man flux. KSA are happy to invest that, and they're flawless thus far. They just have to read where this Finland Symmetra is. Finland have been placing it, though, right in front of KSA. Their objective is using Cloud's Mei wall to isolate KSA specifically. That tank is a problem. Here's the Flux, and the respawning sound barrier there from Masa, but Finland are very low. Cloud manages to get the blizzard off at 2 HP, and the immortality from Mickey greatly placed to allow that to happen. KSA had to give up a lot of real estate, and Finland are on the board.
The photon barrier too is going to help keep Finland safe and hopefully keep control of this point.
For now, KSA, as soon as this wall drops, they could be trying to open up with an amplification matrix. Keep an eye on what Quartz is doing. Doesn't want to be too eager on this off angle. Waits to see what KSA does and what call he makes. Amp matrix from Sermajed. Vestola's very far forward. How long can Finland defend this? It's 92 for KSA. And there's another amp matrix, this time from Mickey. And KSA seem to be okay, but they have to deal with Vestola, who's just putting in so much damage, and Finland are ramping up. It's Sana melting the faces of KSA, who now has to head for the hills.
Something that we saw Finland do yesterday was use these Symmetra teleporters to bait and switch. You put one down, maybe it draws away the focus fire of KSA so that Finland can focus on the real objective, which is going to continue to be marking down KSA on the Sigma so that you don't have a frontline presence. In the Sigma versus Sigma, it's really important to have the upper hand with a stronger frontline, and that's something that Vestola is going to be battling out to have for Finland.
Quartz has the overclock. He's might have been detected because of those Symmetra turrets, but he may be behind that Vestola shield. Quartz with the overclock. Keep an eye on what picks he can get. Now the blizzard is thrown. Cloud is down before he could use his blizzard. He was at 92. And Haku actually got his sound barrier canceled, I believe, and Masa was able to unleash his. A lot of sustain from Finland, but as soon as that goes away, KSA kick up in the dirt.
والله كارت ماخذ فاليو مرة ما شاء الله.
انصج. It's not a lot of time for Finland to touch.
I don't think they can touch. They're going to have to send someone to blink onto the point, but KSA are ready. والله اتحداكم تدورون هيت سكان ياخذ فاليو ضد هالكومب. هيت سكان غير كوارتز. تلعب ام القوة يا شيخ ما شاء الله.
It's time to head downtown. lot of speed. Trying to take over Mega Pack, but Sono was maybe trying to set up a teleporter. He just gets beamed down. An early advantage for KSA, and speaking of KSA, he's been stunned up. Good grasp. Now he's out of cooldowns. Finland trying to retreat. KSA hot on their trail, and the Maywall is so beautiful from UB. Finland managed to defend themselves with their own Maywall and survive, only dropping one member.
Look at that Mickey too with a perfect
اسمع صوت كيسي. الامير لوحدك يعزز لنا. عندي يا شيخ. امير يعزز لك، وش تبي اكثر من كذا؟ كنا مليار مشاهد، ما نبي مليار مشاهد. امير وحدك كفينا.
Right point is for KSA. Finland going for the flip. The amp matrix from Mickey trying to push back KSA. With Sermajet on an off angle. Past the shield. Past the eyes of Finland. It's KSA still in the driver's seat.
And now they have the amplification matrix to work with as well. All the damage they did to poke down Finland during that first fight has netted them 3-4 ultimates to use in this next one. So KSA have a lot of different tools to work with here.
I wonder if Sermajet is going to want to pop the window early, but Finland managed to grab shelter instead. Sana did teleport the team across. Everyone is grouped up together. KSA could have a huge flux here. No accretion to worry about. Manages to lift some of Finland. Gets them low. Has them separated. And Cloud was exposed. KSA are surrounding Finland.
هذا هو تيمنا.
That's going to be another fight for KSA there. They even throw the Blizzard on top just as an insurance policy. And KSA are quickly finding themselves in that last fight territory. If they're able to take this up all the way, they get a chance to secure this first map. And they still have ults to spare. Finland are just working up to some of their first ones. And especially when it comes down to Moss's sound barrier, that is critical in this next fight. Quartz can shut down a lot of the offense from Finland with that photon barrier.
Has been separated. And Finland jump on their prey. The sound bears are exchanged to help either team, but the blizzard from Cloud shuts down.
اضطرنا يسوي بيت له ترى مو بشيء كويس. المفروض البيت يكون الفلكس KSA.
It's not looking good for KSA to keep defending this, but I feel like the effort was there. The work has been done. They're at 99%. KSA just need one fight to win the map.
It's going to be a little while before they can find that fight win, though. Sermajet is going to have the amplification matrix, but not necessarily enough damage to overcome what Finland has for this defense. Especially when Mickey can pop down the amplification matrix of his own, and you have the photon barrier, just so much sustain on the side of Finland to keep control at this point.
Amplification matrix staring down Finland who defend themselves with the Sana.
يا اخي والله تيم ساطي. رجعوا سووا سموال، رجعوا ما كملوا ياخذوا فايت. عندهم افضليه بالوال، ينتظرون الوال يخلص بعدين يخشون. يا ساتر يا القوه.
Now that those ultimates are out of the way, it's the flux from Vistola that I'm looking for, and they all teleport right in front of him. The meal is served up, but he wants to make sure that he gets enough space between them so he doesn't get stunned. And really, the Finland from Poke is what's winning this so far. You just saw the KSA accretion. Vistola could go for the flux, but Finland don't need to use ultimates. That is great patience.
That is a lot of economy for them as well. Something that they were lacking earlier on in downtown. And now Finland get a chance to save that prophetic flux for an even more important fight. Something that both of these teams are doing really well, especially to manage the mirror, is those immortality field timings. Can they get that skill down before going in with something that's a little bit more hard-hitting, like that gravitic flux?
What's Mickey doing up there?
He's cooking. Let him cook.
Let him hang up there.
يعرفون عنا.
Are below. Do they know that bird is up there? KSA can also just teleport out. UB trying to extend outside of the shield, has to be careful. He's been a target of that focus. And Finland teleport to the high ground, drop the blizzard, let it rain on KSA. And Finland, that creativity is what's winning them the fight. The 0 to 100 comeback. Finland are doing it. But the blizzard is slow from KSA. It's slowly turning this fight. The sound barrier from KSA, they send their way to the point, and it's overtime. And Finland, they have to choke this comeback that they were generating.
Oh my gosh, the overtime is going to be in effect here. Mossy gets an important pick onto UB, which is the main source of damage for KSA, but KSA is back with his flux. But
now oh my god!
Reinforcements back, but KSA!
KSA!
DPS
Oh my god. Oh my god KSA. Oh my god KSA.
Bunker, all of that poke, and that's something that Sana's really going to provide here on that bastion.
ليش ما انت معهم؟ تبنت من كاس العالم انا.
Do you want to sacrifice mobility for DPS? Sana, and you pointed it out, you don't need to move around. That's why you don't need the Symmetra. That's why you go for the Bastion. KSA are the ones that have to approach them. They use the Symmetra. They're going to have the Sojourn, which has that extra dump. You can get to high grounds. How far does Quartz want to play from the team, though?
Quartz could take an off angle here. That's such a great point because you can just wrap around to the back of the point. You've got the Symmetra teleporter on the KSA side, and a great use of it too after you bullied Finland off of that high ground. It's much safer to move in.
Finland were a bit slow to rotate where KSA were teleporting to, and Sana unleashing, but great grasp from KSA to eat up a lot of that damage as KSA are trying to take angles around.
يا عمري يا عمري هذا هو منتخبنا.
And Finland are getting surrounded and devoured.
They really did get collapsed on there. And KSA's approach was so smart. You take the high ground away from Finland, you force them to have to walk all the way down those stairs, and while you do that, take the teleporter, move into point, and get those off angles set up. KSA now get a chance to unlock the payload, but Finland get a chance to set up on this high ground.
إذا وصلت 50,000 مشاهدة ارسلوا لي ديسكورد اوكي.
Giving up the Bastion for the Symmetra. Now it's time to move around a little bit. Okay, yeah. That one was right in front of the cart. I think that got destroyed. But plan B, hold the choke. There's actually the option of even sneaking up behind them, but that's being marked by Labda and Quartz. Finland tried to use the Maywall to see if they can get that Sojourn player locked in, but they managed to escape. So Finland go back to holding the choke, and KSA pops his head around the corner, getting information. And that's the type of presence, that front line that KSA need to have. And Quartz and Surmajed can have all the space in the world to hit the frag that they are. And Finland just, well, they get run over.
It's so rough because if Finland gets stuck in a small room like that, there's not too many places you can escape to. So KSA have a lot of space to work with, and they're also able to take that territorial control. KSA also, let's not forget the fact that they have 5 ultimates to use, and they haven't needed to expend anything in order to get this cart already close to that second objective.
4 دبسات حرفيا. هذا الكامب هذا عظيم. ما ليش المنتخبات ما تلعب والله.
KSA by the way are sailing away with the card. They have the Ant Matrix, the photon barrier. They get slowed down by the blizzard. KSA are in trouble. All the ultimates are coming out, and Finland try to live through it with the sound barrier. They gotta respect that space. They start to fall back, but Festola fires back and wins back some precious space for Finland.
Look at that too, Festola really holding his own against the overclock of Quartz, and that's going to be 5 ultimates that KSA threw at that final stretch.
Yeah.
And that's going to be ultimate economy in the favor of Finland. They still have the amplification matrix, they still have the photon barrier to work with, and now KSA are back to the drawing board. And especially where the card is right now, that's where you want to invest those resources. But the fact that they lost that fight, it's going to be another minute and a half, 2 minutes before they can get another full slate online.
KSA are a bit split from each other. They teleported to across the field, and Finland want to take advantage. They've already isolated a member, and an amplification matrix is thrown out just to guarantee that kill.
تعرفون ايش ميزة لوسيو؟ ميزة لوسيو البيت. لما يسوي كيسيه فلكس حيسوي هو بيت، لكن في السلة لما يسوي فلكس غالبا حيقتل 2 3 بالكثير. بالراحة يعني اقصد بالراحة. فاحنا نحتاج لوسيو بس عشان الفلكس حق السلة. غير كذا ما نحتاج لوسيو. هم بياخذون فاليو من لوسيو بسبب الشيء.
Cloud, especially on that May, one of the things that's been so standout about him on this hero is the way that they've used that blizzard. You pointed out yesterday how Cloud was able to use those a bit more defensively, a bit more reactively to help buy Finland some space.
لازم ناخذ فاليو من التلاري اللي هو التي ماجيك. لازم ناخذ فاليو. لازم.
This point B is so hard, but what an opening pick. If you can depend on Quartz. KSA will be just fine. He's been so consistent. Now actually getting behind the defense. Cloud knows he has to take the fight quickly. He throws the Blizzard down. KSA have only lost their tank, and KSA are surrounding Finland. It's up to Quartz to turn the fight, and all the ducks are in a row for Quartz to ace Finland, and it's working out. KSA will be capping B.
I guess you don't need any ultimate if you're
مع المعالج حقي قاعد يندعس. انا اسف ما اقدر. المعالج قاعد يندعس.
To the final checkpoint. They have 3 minutes to work with. Finland expending quite a few ultimates in that last fight. And so KSA, like, especially when you look at the straightaway here, Quartz's overclock could just go nuts.
How Masa uses a sound barrier here is critical when you have a flux coming up, but so many more dangers on KSA. An overclock and Matrix, Captive Sun. Masa doesn't want to use the barrier. He lets his team die as KSA shine again.
What a great preservation of that sound barrier too, because in this instance, you want to make sure that you have the sustain for this final push. Get out as many ultimates as you can. That's going to be 3 off the board for KSA, but Quartz still has that overclock, and where is he hiding? He's waiting for the perfect opportunity to pounce.
And he has
see
overclock.
Him. Yep, looking around. There you go.
They left the timing of that teleporter from Sauna, but they're all for a flux from KSA. Finland are low. They have enough protection, but they don't have the card. The defense has to hurry. Masa still hasn't dropped barrier, and now it's only a 2-man. KSA almost got to the finish line. They have 2 minutes. This is a massive time bank, and Finland are using an out Matrix, but Mickey and
سلم مع فلكس. عمري خلاص
race to the end.
خلاص.
Yeah, and then Quartz had all the space.
فنلندا كويسين يا جماعة، أقسم بالله إن فنلندا مرة كويسين، ومباراتهم ضد كوريا عادي ممكن يفوزون على كوريا، بس والله تيمنا يلعب ما شاء الله مرة كويس، مطلعينهم بشكل خايس، هم مو سيئين صدقوني بتشوفون، بس إن شاء الله يكمل مستوانا لين نقابل الصين.
Finland trying to take very hidden route. Symmetra teleporter, where are they going? They won't have a crazy amount of DPS not running that bastion. They go to the opposite high ground and now are trying to rotate behind that defense.
Yeah, that Sigma shield too to be able to help keep Team Finland alive. And now they get a chance to rotate towards the backup point, but KSA, they're backing up from this. Cloud though finds a great opening pick. That's a lot of healing removed.
Not headshot. That's not something that Shermashed can rotate out of in time. Too slow to the count. First tick though for Finland. KSA, how do they retake this? They haven't taken much damage, done much healing. There's no ultimates. And Cloud Maywalls them and almost forces the C9. KSA steps on, but he's getting rocked to the floor. His grasp is barely keeping him up, and he actually gets body blocked from escaping. Finland within the first fight, which they didn't even take a fight, capped the point.
بعدين سلام فلود.
And KSA are going to get staggered here.
50,000 بصورة يا جماعة.
Quartz is stuck behind the team. He's hoping to take somebody down with him, but it's not going to happen. Mickey's going to be able to get back into this fight so quickly, but what an impressive time bank for Team Finland to work with here. 5 minutes for the second objective. They're going to be getting ultimates online, and maybe this is the snowball that Team Finland need. They want the wind in their sails to be able to get through the second point, which is, as you said, very large. Lot of territory here.
Yeah, this point B is so difficult because the defense can just keep falling back, and attacking with Sigma is difficult. You have to keep readjusting the shield. You have to play corners to have your grasp back, to regenerate that shield. The accretion and form to maybe push back an opposing Sigma. Finland are playing the low ground, and actually UB drops. KSA are going to have to protect him. He has the shield up, but the amplification matrix is dropped by Mickey, and Finland are still pushing the cart. KSA have to stop this. The sustain from Masa is enough for Finland to keep racing to the end. KSA can only protect themselves for so long. They'll have an anchor spot because of the photon barrier, but now the blizzard is thrown in their face. What a play from Cloud! And the cap is almost there. Cap the Sun from Shermashed. Finland still have all the kills, and KSA the only advantage they have is respawn.
They might get those respawns though. Quartz is going to be coming back on the Widowmaker, hoping to be able to get a pick to be able to help KSA hold on to this one, but KSA are running out of time.
Nice.
The emergency widow has been brought out. It gets a headshot onto Sana. Enough damage, but when the rest of the team are dead, it doesn't work out. Finland are the bullies. This card just did not stop. 5 minutes for point C.
Look at that too. I mean, Masa is just
خايفين منا والله خايفين. يلعن ام القوة. الحالة ضد 3 ولا احد فيهم قادر يتجرأ ويسوي معه ومبيون. هو ودو يلعن ام الرعب. طيب يا ساتر خايفين الرمم. كل واحد هو يبيك نزل راسه.
But it's KSA that jumped around the corner and lived and fired with such a great flux.
This is a dangerous position for this card to be for Team Finland. KSA are able to play around so many of these corners. Take a look at the healing pylon placement just behind that left wall. And KSA can take a lot of angles. Quartz able to easily jump back to the team, but Finland moving on this.
Finland teleported up to Quartz and didn't really commit to the push. Immortality's been used. Bestola has to go big here with the perfect flux and gets the support low. Labda is gone, but so is Cloud. As the 4v4, but a sound barrier advantage for Finland. Captive Sun just focused on Mickey, but Sermajet's not hitting the shots to get.
لازم يطلعون احصائياتهم. ابى اشوف ماجد كم جاب
with a 3:30 time bank. Quartz with the double kill though is turning this for the defense.
Has the overclock if he wants to invest it,
but
smartly is going to save it for
the next engagement.
With how much Finland needs to close the gap to really you're just depending on the Sana teleporter and also all of this different building angle to work with. Cloud also looking for an opportunity to try to build up that blizzard. A great way to create space for this team and also with that area of effect with such close quarters.
I don't think Finland managed to get the teleporter down, or at least it was a fake play. Quartz is behind with an overclock. Mickey marks it. He's going to counter-rotate towards his tank. KSA go for a pinch play, and Quartz is sliding into his own death. Thought that KSA were going to go on the other side. That was a mistake. UB protects his team though with the photon barrier. So
لو يوصلونها أقل من دقيقة نضمن الدرو. تعادل أو فوز. ما يبون الفوز بس.
But Sana doesn't have that kind of survivability. The blizzard from Cloud is thrown, thinking that fight was winnable, and I don't know if it is.
الله ياخذه. الله ياخذه. والله إنك كويس.
The healing pylon is down.
الرك من الويندو جاله.
And scattered. You do not want to get taken down here, especially when the card is getting so close to the finish line. Bestola's going to have to be careful though because he's getting very low.
هذه الكورنر الزاوية ذي OB سنتريات هنا. قفل لي.
Finland just can't give it up now. They're so close to the end. Photon barrier separating the map here for Finland. The sound barrier too.
ما هي لا نبدأ. ما هي
KSA are overwhelmed. They try to escape, but you can't run from Finland. They cap within minute 37. One long
لا أحس مو بماجد. آخر فايت كان في سم وول أوكي ولبدا كان يدبس ما كان يهيل كيسي ودخلوا على كيسي بيت يعني حتى الآن ما راح يكفي.
Did KSA have a good memory though?
I think even if they do have a good memory, Finland were able to pull it off. They were able to secure this point right away, get that 5-minute time bank. But Finland, with this route, they do have to take a bit of a longer time, and now Masa is down. Where's going to be the speed?
It was all about those picks. Last time it was Finland picking off Sermajet. He was able to counter-rotate in time, knowing exactly what Finland had planned. But with a man down, Finland tried to retreat, and KSA won't let
لا. Hey!
But you can't mitigate the damage of the symmetric puts out. But Quartz still stands tall at the end. Finland will have one last chance to get to the point.
But this is where that route comes into play. It's a little bit longer of a line
مودات لا
to
تسبموا.
push, and So Team Finland, this is why they only have one shot left. They have to go a different direction, and that's why you're going to end up seeing them go to the left side of the point instead. But KSA are right there to start that poke war. Quartz is already going to be trying to build up to a railgun charge.
Finland have to get at least a take or they'll play for the draw. KSA giving up a lot of space. But that poke superstar Quartz is down, and Finland have set up camp on the point. They are divided, but Finland will not be conquered. The immortality field to save Vestola. He's using his grasp and his shield well. KSA throw the blizzard in his face now that that grasp is gone. KSA might have frozen some members.
في خبر سيء يبي يستعمل ميالت.
Finland will not only get that first hit, but the full cap.
And also the fact that they got the blizzard out as well. Yubi's gonna throw it out, have to switch over to the Symmetra, wants to be able to win out the Symmetra duel, but Mickey was able to hold on to that Amp Matrix. What a great way for Finland to be able to buy space and time, especially as this card starts to round to this corner. KSA take the high ground control, so Quartz is gonna have the sight lines, but Finland can play around that. They've got so many tools to work with to end up mitigating that damage.
Here's the flux from KSA, tries to fake it with the teleporter. That's two lifted up. Sana gives them options of the high ground. What a great photon there from Sana to just let them have some time.
No!
KSA
snip
it out. It's a blizzard that freezes KSA solid. And gets the headshot onto Yubi, and that card is rolling.
Be able to get halfway through this second objective, but Team Finland are not going to be stopping quite yet. They still have this gravitic flux and the Amp Matrix to work with. And so as you search around this corner, they're hoping that they can just get more and more time with this card. KSA, they're running out of time to get these ultimates online, to be able to stop Finland's push.
And like I said before, once Finland get that ball rolling, it is hard to stop them. And it's up to the flux. Vestola can go to the high ground, just has to get the right information. The rest of Finland, these vulnerable members, try to stay safe on the right side. Now teleporting forward. The flux gets some members low there of KSA, but Finland just focused on the objective. KSA at least has someone contesting. That's an improvement of last time. And Quartz is only focusing Vestola, knowing this anchor is what keeps this ship afloat for Finland. But Cloud and Sana are so low. KSA's focus fires on those supports, and Finland start to fall one by one as KSA take back control.
Absolutely peeks away, but you can see that Team Finland are taking the same approach. You called out that the rotations are different.
Team
Finland was set up on that high ground, and KSA are going to try to take that away. But Finland made a much faster rotation this time.
KSA are split. They're going to try and surround the point like they did last time. Finland just have to be aware. What a man wall, Yubi! Couldn't escape. It was a good attempt with the teleporter. Heads up play from Cloud, and now Sirmajetta's dropped. And Cloud, that would have been almost a double kill if he hit that icicle. Now Finland are in trouble. Quartz is jumping in. That's when you know you're in trouble. He's on the high ground, and Finland have to deal with that first. It'll be the second tick now for KSA. Recontest available from Finland. It's taken a hot second though. Vestola! The hit gets hit by
يا فيستولا ثاني مرة. صح يا كوتش. يا تسوي تكة ما تسوي.
That stun was so valuable. And what Finland wanted to do for the recontest there, they're going to have to do around this corner, but if they lose it here, KSA have a lot of time to work with. It's going to be Sana though. Oh, trades going back and forth.
Wait, Vestola also used the accretion and knocked KSA away from his team. These Sigmas are going back and forth. KSA only have 30 seconds. It's last fight territory. And Quartz needs this high ground. He got behind Finland last time. That is how they won the initial choke. But Finland are not even going to hold the choke.
They don't want to do that because they know if they get KSA off the cart even once, that's going to be the map for them to tie up the series. But what they don't know might happen is the overclock here.
Quartz doesn't even have jump. How does he live with 5 people jumping on top of him? Captive Sun though, Finland.
Oh no! Nice.
And not in the way they wanted. That's Syrfrey.
فزنا يلعبون بالقوة. رد علي ماجد والله رد علي. ما يحتاجون لوسيو. ما عندك تست. سرته. يلعن ام القوة.
Nice. And no Quartz sojourn. It's all about teleporting onto the enemy team and using the utility of the Mei to focus down that Sigma. Here's a first Mei wall from KSA. Doesn't get anything. This Finland wall is a lot better. Locks KSA into a fight that they may not want to take. pink, and a beautiful boot from Masa splits up KSA. They get grouped back up, but KSA is the little duckling that got left behind. And now Quartz is down, and Finland have a one-man advantage, but what a stun from KSA!
رجع ان شاء الله الحين مسك كروس حتى. ما نبدأ والله مرة ما قصر.
You can see it's 4v4 and Vestola is very weak. That's why Finland are giving up space, and Haku making sure that he cannot run away. And Finland are just gonna give this up.
Haku too, I mean, what a guy. He was able to put so much healing down onto the team with the Lucio that KSA stayed alive even at 50 HP for so many seconds, but that was the big difference maker for KSA to get control of this first flashpoint. So now Finland, I mean, talk about Lucio. Hello? Masa has a sound barrier online already. Another player that is putting in work for the team. And that sound barrier you can use very aggressively here to get in and try to wrestle this control away from Saudi Arabia.
Ooh, and Matrix right in Finland's face. They use the Maywall to protect themselves. The sound barrier from Masa keeps them anchored in. But Finland are hesitating. They drop away from the UV Blizzard. Finland are actually starting to win this fight. But it's an all-out war, and KSA are at 83+%. Quartz is generating so much DPS, so is Sana. But as the dust settles, only 2 members remain, and it's Finland that flip.
Sana has been placing these symmetric turrets so beautifully, especially when you expect KSA to try to pounce onto that backline. Sana has already set up those turrets. You can see how much work they were putting in to slow down Sir Majed, making him a little bit easier of a target to try to take down. And those turrets are also softening everybody up so that Cloud and Sana can land these shots, land these beams, and just totally chunk people down.
The grab flux, he dodges. KSA dodges the accretion and isn't sure how far past the photon barrier he wants to go. Good reaction from Sana, counter flux from Vestola. Finland are pushing in, and KSA are against the wall. Can Finland make that 0 to 100 comeback like they did on Control? They failed last time, but one fight away from doing just that.
Mickey's gonna have to make his way back to the point. That's why you see Masa going back to taxi him in so that they have that full support line available because they're gonna need it. KSA at this point, UB is gonna be very close to that Blizzard, but Cloud already has it online. So Finland might be able to just throw that early and lock Saudi Arabia off of this point.
Cloud needs to watch the grasp and just places it on the other side of his wall when KSA couldn't see it. Quartz is frozen. The ice block from Yumi is there. The Blizzard is thrown right in front of the Sigma. That was a risk that KSA were willing to take. Vestola is actually boosted up by the wall, and he manages to live while being the only one frozen. And Finland have made that 0 to 100 comeback to win point 1.
There you go. Market is now under Finland's control. We get a chance to go over to Palace, and Finland gonna use their symmetric teleporter to be able to get there a little bit first. This allows them time to set up while Saudi Arabia are gonna make their way slowly into the point here. You still have a few seconds before this flashpoint's going to unlock, so plenty of time for Saudi Arabia to also get their own setup. The biggest difference maker is that Finland has a lot of different walls to work around, but Saudi Arabia want to try to make this a tiny room Overwatch.
Oh man, the amplification matrix, and Mickey is like, I was actually gonna take his solo off angle, and the Maywall from Cloud isolates KSA and lines up all the dominoes for Mickey to knock them down. Finland have KSA exactly where they want them.
Some Batiste players use that amplification matrix for the team, but sometimes it's going to be that selfish matrix that works out even better. So keep that off angle, use that amp matrix to boost up that damage, and KSA just didn't really know what hit them in that moment. Finland too, they're able to whittle away at this Saudi Arabian front line so that Vestola has another gravitic flux online. Sana has this photon barrier to use reactively in these engagements. And so important to have that, especially when you know Saudi Arabia needs to get up and close.
Oh, photon barrier. KSA don't want to teleport. They just want to try and cap this, force Finland down from their high horse. And Cloud does that, use the Maywall to contest. KSA haven't flipped yet. They have the sound barrier. Is this enough? KSA have to run them down. And the Finland Blizzard could only slow them down. Finland out their backs against the wall. They're trying to get around KSA. Sirmajet is dead. There's barely any heals. Mickey has now been just taken down. And the Quartz DPS is gold for KSA.
Oh, Sana and Quartz are putting in so much work with these Symmetras, especially when they are so charged up. It's going to be really easy for each of those Symmetras to be able to get those takedowns. But Finland, they did the work that they needed to do. They have 83% of that flashpoint captured. If they want to keep themselves in this match, this is how they do it. And Sana still has that photon barrier, which can prove to be very valuable when KSA does have that gravitic flux online. Another way to keep your team safe without the immortality field.
Bastola made it through. He has the wall to protect themselves while they were separated from the main wall. Yubi, he's going for the blizzard. Photon barriers there to help him out. And the blizzard might just get Sana. No, he's on the edge. And he's well protected by his May. KSA still are so aggressive. And Finland just can't handle the heat.
أنا ما ودي أطلع صوتي عالي. صوت المقطع أهم.
This is KSA's point. And they will be matching this 1-1.
Palace now being taken by Saudi Arabia means that we get a chance to move on to another flashpoint. We'll see where we're moving and whether or not Finland's going to have an advantage here. We're going to be getting over to
جاهز سك البيت. لا يا أخوي سك البيت إذا فزنا بكأس العالم. مو بهالجيم. ما عليك جاهز.
Finland didn't have a chance to expend some ultimates in that last fight, so they have a few tools to work with. They're going to need to get control of this point first, and they really are a team that likes to run with momentum.
Whoever wins the first fight has a huge edge. This is a very defendable comp, and Yubi takes down his opposition. The photon barrier, KSA will just push past it if they need. But they will round the corner, use the teleport surprise, of course, if they need. Course is actually on the other side.
جماعة ترقبوا التغريدة بعد الجيم. والسوري انستغرام ترقبوهم. والله لا ندم كلاودي على اليوم اللي قرر يسبني فيه. هذا البيت اللي لكم عنه.
Finland have the one-man advantage, but KSA have been clutched before, but it seems too much to handle. All of KSA's focus is all over the place, and Finland will take back the point.
KSA walk away with 31% capture progress before Finland are able to wrestle back that control.
كلاودي جالس يسب ساونا في بثة. بالله هذا بيئة منتخب مناسبة. هذه بيئة منتخب تسب لاعب مهما كان اللعيبة اللي معك ما تسبهم. سبحان الله.
Just to be able to grab that high ground and get some poke down onto Saudi Arabia as they move in. Look at the turret placement too. You gotta see Saudi Arabia think twice.
The wall from Yubi block the blizzard. KSA are safe. These Mays are insane. I swear, Yubi has his own blizzard. Finland were trying to be as creative as they did on downtown, even going for a drop-down play, but KSA rotated away. And now they stare at each other with Finland in control with the lead. This is maybe the last fight to see who goes to round point. And Finland defend for now. UB is awfully quiet, maybe not sure about the blizzard. Looking to see where Finland are as the flux from KSA gets some members low. Here's the blizzard there from UB. And it's only these supports. Masa's in trouble, doesn't get frozen. And the barrier could be critical. Mickey is so low, the barrier.
الله يلعن البيت. الله يلعن البيت.
And that's the point. Finland are on round point on Sirvasa.
Oh my god, what a clutch. That could not have been more frame perfect for Masa to be able to save Mickey and keep this point alive. Sarmajeta has no choice except to try to go back to the spawn room so that he's able to get back to the team. But Finland, they know what their objective is. They're going over to guard it on that bottom right point of the map, and they still have so many ultimates. So they get a chance to not only beat Saudi Arabia to the punch, but also set up the defenses. This point is so open. So Finland really want to make sure that they have the best defensive position possible.
Even though Finland are defending, KSA also have great cover. Here's the first fight. KSA jump in and Matrix. KSA is locked down.
الله ياخذهم طيب الجماهير.
KSA now commit the
يلا نفوز كأس العالم. هم الكره يا اخي. كيف يصرخون على الكلب.
While also having the point in control. This lead is growing for Finland.
This looks like an expensive fight, but Finland has got themselves so much time when they know that they've already secured 2 flashpoints, especially if they're able to get any of this poke down onto Saudi Arabia, maybe take somebody down before they move in. That's going to be a huge difference maker. Finland already working up to 50% on this final flashpoint. And KSA, they've got to start making a move. The Sigma has been really good in terms of that close quarters duel, but KSA
Finland are known to play this. They were very defensive last time against that Orisa opponent in quarterfinal. Cloud can just sit pretty, wait for KSA to approach with this blizzard, but Yubi has a similar idea. Both blizzards are dropped. It's a no man's land, and it's only Vestola frozen, I believe, and the sound barrier is just enough, and the immortality from Mickey.
اسمع الصريخ، اسمع الصريخ الحين. خسرنا الروند، أول روند نخسر بكأس العالم. شوف الصريخ اللي بيصير. ها 70 70 أول روند نخسر بكأس العالم.
Vestola, especially when he's able to maneuver around the shield that he has, makes the Junker Queen even more vulnerable in those instances. I would love to see it too, not gonna lie, but it is gonna be the Sigma versus Sigma. Saudi Arabia on the back foot though, as it's gonna be Finland making it to that bot first.
And you can play around this central building to go on a flank. You may not expect it as much since you don't have a Sojourn. Everyone is playing for a teleport play. And maybe even generating an amp matrix. KSA are the first to rotate around this corner. They probably have used some important cooldowns like the grasp or have a low shield.
أدري أنا متأخر بس ماني مهتم. خليه يخلص وبسوي له ريفرش، أوكي؟ خليه يخلص الفايت.
To contest and off of the main wall of Cloud, KSA are taking a ton of damage. The ice block is out, but Yubi doesn't want to stay there too long. The first kill for KSA goes through, and Finland are in trouble.
Now, without Masa, you just don't have as many choices to be able to get away from Saudi Arabia. And Sana as well, just with how does Haku have a sound online already? The frags, the headshots, really helping to add up to that ultimate charge as Haku's going to try to sit this one out, try to get that bot a little bit more far forward. Saudi Arabia are going to take that meterage lead while they have so much to work with.
The Ant Matrix is gonna be on the menu, and Mickey pops his, and the grab flux too, but a good counter of Haku's the sound barrier, as KSA even popped his flux too. Not sure if he got a good target. It's all the ults coming out. Finland wouldn't be let out of this room, and Yubi freezes them solid when Finland thought KSA wiped them down.
What a call and response coming through from both teams, but Saudi Arabia walk away the winners of that matchup, and they are rewarded with this first checkpoint. Those closer spawns unlocked, but sadly not before Quartz has made it out of spawn, so it's going to have to walk a little bit, which is going to force Saudi Arabia to have to back up. An important opening here for Finland to potentially take advantage of, knowing that Saudi Arabia does have to back up a little bit.
Yeah, Haku was able to
أول مرة نختار ماب كويس لنا، ترى كلهم المابات ياخذونهم، لأن التيم اللي يخسر هو يختار ماب، فإحنا أول مرة نخسر روند ونختار ماب. فهمتوا؟ هذا أول مرة إحنا نختار ماب.
This momentum that KSA generated is gone. Finland take their first fight.
Yubi is stalling as long as possible though, alongside Haku.
عوافي ما انا قلت صوت. اي جماهير ساكتين. يلا عوافي.
The high ground. Finland wants control of that bridge. So bot's gonna move around this corner very quickly. Shut off those forward spawns. Haku and Yubi, fortunately, gonna be on the back foot of that. But it's not too far forward that this bot has to move. Finland have the upper hand when it comes to that ultimate economy, so it's very likely they could win this here.
Ant Matrix from Mickey, but KSA don't want to stay in that corner. They try to get around Finland, and no, geez, Servashed just was separated away from the flock, and Finland hunts them down. They had the high ground, and KSA tried to dance. Vestola even has the flux, but you don't even need it. At least this was an extended fight for KSA to generate some important ultimates, because they're going to need it to retake.
They are, and Finland, they didn't have to expend much in that fight. That fight was super cheap. And so they still are able to hold on to the gravitic flux, the photon barrier, and gravitic flux, the perfect ultimate to have in this situation when you are playing around this checkpoint. Finland are so close to matching the meterage here, but KSA on the Sigma wants to try to stop that.
Okay, there's a photon barrier from Quartz, separates the fight in half. And the escape plan from Quartz is there too. Flux from Vestola gets Haku low, but KSA can play the corner, and the Blizzard is throwing the re-engage.
Yeah, Haku.
Down here from Haku's too late to save Yubi. It's a 5v4 in favor of Finland, and Sana, he's had so much DPS. You better get out of his way, or he'll remove you by force. Finland will get that forward spawn, and they're so close to taking the lead.
That lead is going to be coming up very shortly, and Saudi Arabia, once again, having to go back to maybe plan C in this instance.
والله winnable still 5 دقائق باقي الجيم يا جماعه ايش فيكم؟ خلوا ياخذون ليد عادي.
And Saudi Arabia, they need to try to work up to this photon barrier because at this point too, Finland can start to build up that momentum. They've won a few team fights in a row. This is where this team thrives.
KSA have to make this bleed not turn into a hemorrhage. The lead has already gone to Finland. The Matrix from Mickey is ready too. And as soon as KSA commit to a lane, or Finland can just jump around the corner, but KSA have good shelter using the half wall. Finland are okay having this fight last as long as they need, but you're also giving KSA time to generate ultimates. It's Finland that have the advantage this fight, and Finland know it. They throw the Blizzard. KSA is trapped by the Maywall of Cloud, and the headshot to ruin him. Finland has a 5v4. Yubi knows he has to make a play. The Blizzard is thrown down. Finland lose Nasa in the process. It's 4v4 now. The Matrix from Mickey to push KSA back. They're a little too threatening, and KSA knows, well, they're playing that window side, but the charged up Symmetra right click through the Matrix is so deadly, and KSA are not out of this yet.
Yeah, but Finland can still stall here, so Cloud, Vestola trying their best. Especially when you start whittling away at that time bank. We only have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, and with Finland in the lead, they can play a bit more defensively here. So they don't mind backing up, giving some space, making sure that they're regrouped, so that they can approach this next fight with all the firepower that they have. If Finland are able to win this next fight, it becomes even more difficult for Saudi Arabia to get back into things.
حلو اخذنا جيت سبون مرة نايس.
Take the lead and they want to win it now.
That's a huge launch from Vestola. KSA don't have barrier yet, and Haku, does he want to pop it now? You don't have Quartz in this wall for Quartz, doesn't matter. Finland versus KSA with the sound barriers exchanged, and it's an all-out brawl between the Sigmas. KSA holds its own, but Finland start to surround, and they start to pound as Finland moves forward.
Vestola is playing with so much more confidence right now. KSA is one of those tanks that has been so impressive during the Overwatch World Cup because of how much aggression that he takes into every single fight. He's not afraid because of how much confidence that he puts into his backline of Haku and Surmajet to keep him alive. But Vestola, taking it to the front line, continuing to execute the game plan, where if they get KSA's Sigma down, then they have that frontline duel.
KSA teleported under Finland, so Finland are going to prioritize the bot, use the wall to keep KSA in their baby cage. There's the photon barrier from Finland to protect themselves. Does KSA make the decision to walk past it? They're unsure. They seem to be teleporting actually to the opposite high ground. It's KSA that have the positional advantage. 85 to 61 with 2 minutes left. It's up to the Blizzard of Cloud, and KSA are in trouble. They can't run in the immortality from Surmajet. Only buys them a few more seconds until death. Finland move forward, and they will be reaching 100 meters.
الجيم الجاي مبنى.
Finish this map?
أنا أعرف التيم إيش بيختار.
Can they finish this map? Because they are getting so close. They only get a complete shutout right now on to Saudi Arabia. They're able to make them
إذا تكفى وش تبي نسوي؟ تكفى. الشيء الوحيد أشوفه أتابع.
And now with the gravitic flux,
that's at least Surmajet as he has the immortality. It doesn't save him. He's killed before he lands into the sideline. Finland dismantled them one by one. You ask if Finland could full cap. It's definitely possible now.
Oh, the stagger!
قاعد يكري مرة بالسلة.
Is gonna get taken down. Maybe you're able to stall out this spot for just a little bit longer. But Saudi Arabia have to walk out of spawn into this open territory that Finland get a chance to poke down. KSA is already so low. UB as well needs to be able to use that amp it up from that Lucio to get back to full health.
KSA, I mean, even if they win this, they have 45 seconds.
بالله الله ياخذه. الله ياخذه.
He's an ice block. KSA will frontline. KSA will not be giving up. They have almost every other ultimate. How does Quartz want to defend themselves? Vestola was hungry for the main kill, and he's in trouble. Flux from KSA, countered by the Masa sound barrier. Quartz only has the wall. Sermaged with the M-Matrix, and KSA know they need the ultimate to turn it around. But have KSA already drowned when Finland have 135 meters with 11 seconds left? KSA, we know they can clutch, but this is a lot to ask for.
This is definitely a mountain that Saudi Arabia needs to climb, but when their back's against the wall, that is when they frag the most. Quartz is going to have to use that teleporter, though, to be able to get back to the team. Haku trying his best to be able to get Quartz back into this fight. That photon barrier is going to be able to help protect them from the amplification matrix from Mickey, but you also have those area effects of Cloud, Blizzard, Vestola, the Matrix.
KSA, will they fall? It's the Cloud Blizzard from up top.
كلهم خمسة.
He cannot escape in time. Finland are the hunters and KSA are the prey. This is Finland's fight. Sana with the 3K and Finland force game 5.
That's why the Widowmaker is there.
شنق يتابع بإذن الله بالفوز يعيش شنق بإذن الله. إن شاء الله يا رب. متفائل والله يا جماعة يلا.
Nobody's home. Finland though, they want to try to take this close corner. Oh, you got to be careful. Mickey almost getting his head taken off by that sniper shot. But Quartz thinks better of it, wants to go back to this Sojourn that has been so nasty in these fights.
Yeah, that widow
shot. سي كوارتز هوت من أول. قاعد تظلمونا. تعبون السم ليش؟ أعطوه سكان يا أخي، خلوه يأيم بس.
Honorable start to this map though. Team Finland making that close hold. But Saudi Arabia now get a chance to take big Earls away from Team Finland. And that's where you start to run into some problems. Finland needs to figure out a different approach to this fight. And so they're actually going to go underneath the canyon so that they can take the garage away in big Earls.
How did that happen? Labda snuck up upon as Finland took bottom of big Earls and they had access to that backline.
How did that happen? شالوا بابتيست. لما تقولونها؟ والوسع لم يفتح.
Finland are up by 1, but they only have Lucio heals. Finland has to really pull off the damage to turn this fight. And when Vestola is dominating the front line, that is just enough in the May wall. KSA can't even get out, and Finland stopped the push.
Quartz was one in that fight as well. Almost didn't make it away from that either, but these staggers have come through. Cloud is down though. Quartz is going to even up his players.
I was so excited to see Quartz back on this Sojourn. He is the pop-off hero that KSA needs to get back on that throne. But Quartz is above, so close to overclock, and Vestola isn't there to protect Mickey, but that's a pretty sturdy rock that these supports are hiding behind.
يا كوارتز شكرا. تكفى شيل الليلة كوارتز تكفى.
And KSA with the photon barrier caused a lot of confusion there, and KSA should be able to cap A.
Maybe we get a chance to see a recontest come through. Vasana's down with the Symmetra, so it might be a little bit more difficult unless you want to send Cloud in to try to get that ice block down. But take a look at where Syrphaged is. Quartz too.
The May wall cycled with the ice block. That's precious seconds. Sound barrier.
توادر إنه بدي يرفعه.
Ice block is gone to maybe save him.
كلهم.
Finland. Oh, they forced out a lot of ultimates out of
يا كوارتز. شكرا. إيه. ادعس يا أخي. تعبونا سم ليش يا أخي؟ سم الأهلها يوبي ومدري مين. أعطوه سكان ذا. روندين تعطونا سم.
Let's watch that again though, as Quartz had the overclock. You saw the investment of the gravitic flux, but even with the sound barrier, just wasn't enough to save everybody. And Quartz once again showing why the Sojourn is one of his absolute best heroes. We're talking about that too. When we get a chance to see Quartz on the Symmetra, maybe it didn't quite work out the way that Saudi Arabia wanted it to in terms of those final 2 maps, but here, let's bring around the rosy, shall we?
Finland are just rotating that position to contest the card. KSA are happy on top saloon, but you can't forget about the objective. And as KSA go back to the card, they walk into a storm. There is the blizzard from Cloud. And KSA have their tank frozen. KSA manages to bring his grasp out to save himself while Court stays on the high ground. Finland know that is a threat they have to deal with, or at least hide away, as Vestola pressures him back. Court has to jump out of the line of fire, and well, that's still enough poke, because I guess while Court is gone,
نايس. يوبي سم دايما كوارتز كان لازم يوبي عنده الجيم سنس والعقل، هو يعرف يسوي تبيات ومتى يسوي سموال وذي الاشياء، مو كوارد عطى ويدو سولت وطلع بكل فيد بس واستانس. كويس ان تعلمنا الدرس الحين عشان ما نتعلمها ضد الصين، الحين نتعلمها احسن.
KSA never died. And that was all off the back of just Labja's fantastic positioning to help keep the team up. But Finland are back. This is going to be the final contest.
They thought that KSA thought that Finland were coming on the right side, but Finland teleported on the other, so this photon barrier doesn't matter. KSA though, that wall matters from Cloud.
Nice.
KSA is dead. And Surmajed trying to clutch up for his team, tries to heal Yubi, and Surmajed has such great balance of Alori, probably one of the best in the world. As KSA cap point B.
والله تنزل دبات عليكم على الطقطقه يا كلاب، اول ما فازوا تمردوا والله لا نزل.
For Saudi Team Finland gotta dig their heels into the sand because they're also starting to run out of that time.
Finland can play this corner and even actually teleport past it and play both sides. KSA are going to look both ways before crossing through and try to pounce on the Vestola. Masa saves him with a sound barrier. Lapdar is gone. Surmajet's the only heal. He can't DPS and get the frags that KSA would have hoped for. And Finland holds strong on the corner.
احنا ما عندنا بيت
that they got to shave down.
Great defensive corner for them though, right? Because Team Finland, they can play around the right side where we see Vestola trying to lock down. There's an off angle that we can see Cloud take, and it's the positioning of both of those heroes in particular that helps bolster up Team Finland's front line. We'll see if they can hold strong though, because I've got to survive another onslaught here from Saudi Arabia.
KSA are trying to find the perfect angle for this Matrix, but Lambda gets poked down. The orbs of this Sigma Vestola can bounce around and get such good information, and apparently fantastic kills for this defense. And Course is going to get staggered. KSA are trying to save them, but they walk into the flux of Vestola, and KSA are dead again.
Labda there to help get KSA away from that damage. But Team Finland are still pushing forward. Vestola is able to get some poke down, wants to have this gravitic flux online for the inevitable next fight.
Ooh, photon barrier, but Finland have already stepped up. They're ready to throw some punches. Surmajed at 1 HP pops the captive sun so that Quartz can knock them all down. Finland have been removed, and KSA with a minute 15 are heading to the end.
This is why Vestola wants that Griffin.
الجماهير من كثر ما انهم شخصنين فنلندا يكسرون التورت حق ماجد، مو بماجد، لا التورت بس، كلهم يصرخون جنون مجانين.
But Saudi Arabia, they've got that ace up their sleeve. It's going to be Quartz with another overclock. Take a look at where he's trying to wrap behind.
It's TikTok, it's overclock. Can Quartz clutch it up? Finland takes shelter on the other side of the truck. And it's the grasp from Vestola trying to get eyes on where the Sojourn player is. Finland have found him, but Quartz has already escaped into the shadows. As Finland hope to make their final stop at the respawn advantage. The edge is for the defense. KSA have the flux. KSA pulls the trigger immediately, but the Masa sound barrier just in time. Yubi is pooped off his teleporter, but Finland don't get the execution.
لازم نوصلها بدقيقة لازم.
Now Finland take that right side approach. They need to deal with Yubi.
نايس. عمري.
The true king.
شيل الكلب ذا. إيه يضحك بشيء. نايس. يا عمي ايه هذا اللي بسمعه.
The cheers in the crowd right now. That close hold ended up spelling a bit of disaster there for Team Finland because the card ended up getting extra real estate than what it maybe would have gotten if Team Finland had been on top of big Earls, just like Saudi Arabia here. Yeah, look at their setup.
KSA want to play as far away as possible, so they have time to read this Sana teleport. Finland are going to want to approach them, while as this space between the two is where Quartz will shine. Here's the teleport from Finland. Now they've taken over Big Earls. But KSA is getting good trickle damage, but Finland's backline is still healthy. You gotta be careful of Quartz and Surmajed. They're starting to surround Finland. And any picks, any damage passes Vestola's shield. He needs to be aware of where Quartz is at all times. The teleport from Finland is right on that right side, and Quartz is too low. He didn't get enough healing. Labda was reloading, and KSA are on the back foot, but KSA starts to walk forward, stomps down on Masa. Vestola's losing the frontline duel, but the card is being taken by Finland. KSA are forced to drop. The Maywall's in their way. They could be trying to get around it. KSA has the touch.
What a fast first capture here for Team Finland. All of the back of Cloud inching that cart forward. He was playing around the cart just to keep his head safe.
We're chilling. وصلناها يا جماعة عادي.
And so every inch mattered, every meter. Gonna be able to get that first capture there for Team Finland, and they're gonna keep that car rolling. Saudi Arabia got a little staggered there, and by the time that they're able to get back, Team Finland have already started around this corner. Masa now on cart duty.
Okay, KSA tried to teleport to the high ground, and half of them dropped off, and Labda didn't get the memo. He tried to fight back with an Amp Matrix against the photon barrier. That's not gonna work. But Surmajed's in your back line, moved away by Masa. And Finland continue the boulder that rolls down the hill. If you stand in the way, you're just gonna get squished.
Gotta be careful, because that could also turn into an avalanche, because Team Finland, one of those teams that really is able to just work with what they've got. That card is so close. They have 4 minutes left on the time bank.
Wait, KSA tried to teleport, but Finland were so aggressive, they denied. They separated KSA. The teleporter is gone. There's no one to save Yubi. Up against Cloud. The backhand. The Finland sound barrier kept full push. They just can't be stopped. They are going into
قاعدين نخسر بوينتات ورا بعض. معهم 5 دقايق. 5 دقايق.
This has been a steamroll over 5 minutes in the bank here for Team Finland.
صحصحوا.
They don't have a whole lot of gas in the tank, but as long as it's enough before it hits empty, maybe Team Finland's got this.
Oh, KSA jump past the shield. Somehow he lives. Good immortality from
Labda.
As KSA want to jump behind Finland. Here's the route of escape there from Sana. Things get hairy. They go back to
ما يلعبون فرح. ما تدربوا فرح. يلا آش خير موفق مرة.
Ash is such an interesting pick here because you know how grouped up Team Finland's gonna be. Those dynamites are huge.
Oh, it's really Finland that's on fire. The flux.
والله آش بتكري.
Sets them ablaze, and Finland, for the first time on this push, have been stopped.
The fact that they haven't been stopped right now, do you even care if you're Team Finland? You still have 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. And while this Ash pick is phenomenal, I feel like it's almost more exploitable. You have way less mobility to work with now. So versus something like the Sojourn, you just don't have that dash. You have the coach gun instead.
هيلو لا يجي هيد واحد. هيلو.
It's a comfort.
هيلو لا يجي هيد واحد.
Trying to get some damage above that shield. The Bob presence, you can't deny that. As Finland want a lane to put this Amp Matrix down.
أعظم آش في التاريخ.
Finland are unsure where to put
أنا
that, but a
وعدكم.
quick surprise from Labda as Cloud was caught out in the open, playing the corner looking for a Blizzard play. Now KSA.
برضو أعظم آش لعب ضد بحياتي.
Right side. They didn't cross and give up the fight fast enough. Finland have to make a choice. Do they invest? And KSA tear them apart before they can think.
But that's okay. Team Finland wanted to take an eco push there. They didn't want to use ultimates, and so guess what? They're gonna have 5 now. Saudi Arabia, they had to use the large captive sun, so Majed is able to charge it up so quickly. And even talking to him, he's like, hey, if it's online, may as well go ahead and throw it into the fight.
آخر المباراة في السعودية بس.
Finland, this has been back-to-back fights, starting with a man down, but at least they're quick to reset.
They still have 3 minutes in the time bank. Like, what do you do? At a certain point, like Finland, with that amount of time, they're just overwhelmed.
Sona's getting overwhelmed. You have to deal with the symmetric turrets from UB. So Vestola leads that charge. Now those symmetric turrets are no longer a problem. The true problem is this flux. It hits a bunch of KSA. They're low. The bomb's thrown down as an additional manpower, but KSA are missing in action. Finland invest everything, 4 ultimates with only an amp matrix to spare. And they're halfway to the end.
They need one more team fight. One more team fight win will tie this up here for Team Finland. Quartz was going to switch, goes back over to the Ash, because that's going to be Saudi Arabia's best chance to be able to stop Finland in their tracks, but this flux.
Vestola should be okay, I don't know. KSA is bullying him. Has the accretion, might have canceled the cooldown, but Finland...
والله ويندو نايس ابداع يلعن بالقوة نايس ويندو.
The life snuffed out of Finland's eyes. KSA, the defense wins at the last couple of meters, but 2 minutes left.
والله الويندو من وين جاء.
2 minutes left, but take a look at where that card is. This is going to be very difficult for Team Finland to get back to, especially with how much space Saudi Arabia has to work with. That is a lot of poke that Finland's going to be taking as they make their way in. And they also have to walk into a captive son from Surmajed. We've seen how deadly those can be. So Saudi Arabia right now, they see the win condition on the board and it's close in their sights.
Finland are trying to juke them out, try to fake out either door. They go from the bottom, they want to teleport right on top of Quartz. That's the most vulnerable member. Finland are staring into the sun. Surmajed lights them all up. Sana is so low. KSA needs to capitalize, but Finland stand tall. They move forward. The box in their way. With 1 minute left, that is more time than KSA, and we go to extra rounds.
That Saudi Arabia are going to take. You've got the Alaria on one side, you've got the Sojourn on the other, needing to push Finland out of this choke. Want to make sure that they are getting as far back as possible, but Vestola is holding strong here in the front.
Yeah, KSA has funneled Finland out of this metro. But Finland won't give up this position, not for free, and Vestola's contesting too, so KSA need to win this fight, and its precious seconds gone. Surmajed is on the flank, Sana makes the call, immortality from Mickey is down, Sana has some time to rotate away from Surmajed, and Quartz is low. Labda has so much work to do, because Surmajed needs to focus on picks, along with Quartz. But KSA that have circled their prey, but KSA take the first fight.
Look at how much time that Finland got off of that clock, though. It's going to be overtime by the time that they get back. And Mickey's going to be the first one in this lobby to get an ult online, unless Surmajed has anything to say about it. With the photon barrier from UB as well, those turrets putting in a lot of extra work. And that could be the big difference maker here for Saudi Arabia to work with that minute time pick. We saw what Finland did when it was on the flip side when they had less time.
Captive Sun versus Matrix. KSA on the high ground. This is a perfect angle for Surmajed. But he's already popped his shift. And Finland have teleported to the high ground. And Matrix by Mickey. But Yubi protects this team. And the flush from KSA. Finland so weak. And KSA march on to cap point A with the minute they had.
But now Team Finland, they have the sound barrier at their back. They're going to be able to use that in an aggressive manner to stop the cart in its tracks, but Saudi Arabia have already captured that first point. They're gonna be getting a huge lead here and forcing Team Finland to have to catch up.
I'll tell you what's next, an Amp Matrix versus the sound barrier.
Wait!
They got
سناين يا عيال. No way. No way يا عيال. No way تسوون سناين زي كذا.
It is so on the table right now.
It's still winnable for KSA. With the 1 minute they had, getting past point A is big.
It is.
Especially the box of victory, I believe, might have, I don't know if the door's open, but either way, let's focus on this. Finland have to get around this corner. How do they teleport on top of UB? That is probably the big win condition. Quartz is going to play at an off angle. He has to be careful too.
Finland have to figure out what to focus down. And see that KSA is trying to hold down the mine shaft while Finland starts around the corner, but it's all about the fight on Big Earls.
Yeah, Finland managed to teleport on the high ground, but
تكفون يا جماعة تكفون.
it's making Courts very uncomfortable, even though he's not looking at him.
نايس فايت أخير. آخر فايت، الفايت الجاي. آخر فايت. نفوزه وخلاص.
As KSA were able to jump down while Finland were teleporting, and KSA take the first fight win.
It's going to be half the time bank gone here for Team Finland, and a little bit of breathing room for Saudi Arabia, as it's going to buy valuable time for Surmashed to try to get this captive Sun online. A lot of poke coming down from Saudi Arabia onto Team Finland, where they have to wait for this teleporter. They have to wait for these defensive cooldowns to make their way into this fight. 35 seconds now, Team Finland. Now their backs are against the wall here.
KSA, they can keep getting these first picks off of Quartz. Finland cannot afford to wait. Time is running out. They're worried about KSA on the top left, and Cloud just used Ice Block, but Finland have to take the risk. The May wall from Cloud is KSA is not down, but they've at least pushed him back. Finland have the Matrix, but with KSA on the high ground, that is 5 seconds. Surmashed has the captive Sun. Couple more seconds left. It's do or die for Finland. KSA can deny the
فزنا الله يلا يلا بس برا برا يا كلاب. سلامة. اقسم بالله مستحيل تمردوا يوم فازوا روند. كلهم تغريدة واحدة يا جماعة. يلا كلهم تغريدة واحدة، حتى ذا الكلب معهم كلهم.